Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone. And this is Friday Night Contact. I hope you are all well. Yeah, right. This is the last stream. 4 streams today, folks. 4 streams today. I'm still feeling fresh, so that's good. But I don't do these alone, as you know. So let's bring on the co-host, and Chris won't be joining us again this week. He's working 60, 70-hour weeks, unfortunately. It does happen. So he'll be back with us as soon as he can. But he won't be joining us this week. So we will have someone joining us in a few minutes, PD Rich. So he'll be coming on. But let's bring on my co-host who does join me for these streams. It's the one and only Problem Being.
Hello everyone.
Nice to see you, pal. Nice to see you. You've been a bit quiet this week, but I suppose that's a good thing because it means then you haven't been getting stressed out. But how have you been?
Yeah, busy.
Good.
That and I was a bit naughty.
Oh,
I bought myself a bit of Doctor Who merch. Secondhand.
Nice. What merch now would that be?
The Big Chief.
Oh, no.
John Pertwee, Third Doctor.
Nice. Well then that was worth getting. You're absolutely spot on.
Figure. Absolutely.
But let's tell you what's on tonight's stream. So we've got, and this topic will probably take up most of the stream because it's multifaceted, and we will have to talk about it because it is the big news right now. But Disney Plus is in all sorts of trouble. We'll get into the details now in a few minutes. I'll throw stuff up on the screen as well. Also, we'll be talking a little bit about Beetlejuice 2 because there is some news on that front. We're going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mayhem. The director or producers come out with some idiotic comments, and we're going to discuss them. Richard Dreyfuss, you all know who he is, the guy from, isn't it Jaws? Wasn't he in the Jaws? Jaws movie? Yeah, he's criticised the Oscars. We'll also be talking about that. Spy Kids is being rebooted. Don't ask me why. And also because I'm a bit of a gamer, we'll get into that. And because I'm a bit of a gamer, they are making a Grand Theft Auto 6, and apparently it's going to be the most expensive game ever made. But why am I talking about it? Because when you find out how much it's going to cost to make this game, it's just put it this way, it puts big budget movies to shame. But anyway, let's bring on our well, he's going to be our stand-in, I suppose, if he wants to do it for the next few Fridays until.
That's a bit rude. He's not a stand-in. He's a valued member of our team.
Well, he is. Well, he says new chairman. He's the new chairman because he got a new chair. But it's the one and only PD Rich. How you, PD?
In the words of Captain Kirk, I miss my old chair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always the way, though. You get a brand new chair and it's never the same, man. It's never the same.
I can't wait to get a new chair. Mine sucks.
Yeah, my old one, it's falling apart, mate.
There you go.
I want something
but let's start off with Disney, because this obviously is going to take up a lot of the stream because there is a lot of facets to it. So I think we'll start off with this first. Oh man, here I want to ask all you guys that are on Twitter: are you getting these fucking message requests from all of these like spam, bleeding money making scam things? And now I'm getting OnlyFans girls bleeding say, "Oh hey, Noel's on from Ireland. Would you like to join me OnlyFans?" No, I don't. Get away from me, blocked. What the hell?
Yeah, they're just bots. So much
but it's gotten worse since Elon's took over. Thought it was supposed to get better.
Get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse now that
I know. Yeah, we will discuss that as well because he's announced his new CEO, and I have to say, what is he at? Because this is not what we expected from Elon, and you will get into it, but I want to start off with this because this is huge, folks. This is huge. This shows you how bad it is at Disney right now at the moment. And I couldn't believe this figure when I saw it, but that is a huge dip. And what am I talking about? Well, I'll throw it up on the screen there for you now. Here we go. I've got to prep this time now, so it should go up smoothly. I say that, but it's me. So, Disney Plus has lost 4 million subscribers in Q2. So that's just the second quarter, right? Because they divide the year into 4 quarters, folks. And this is the second quarter of 2023, and they've lost 4 million subscribers. Now, connecting with that news is the fact that apparently now they're going to merger with Hulu and other streaming platforms to try and survive. Now, we all know what the issues are, lads, don't we? We all know what the issues are at Disney. But, Lee, 4 million, that is not... I mean, that's not to be taken lightly. That is...
I might have to start reaching, behind the couch, see if there's any millions floating around in there to cover it. Look, are we surprised, really? I mean, when you produce crap, you tend to lose audiences. It's very simple mathematics. Maybe they need to do a bit of a reappraisal of their methods madness. You can't keep getting away with trotting out the same old rubbish, same substandard par nonsense, and expect people to lap it up. They think their audience is stupid, and people know that they feel that they're being treated like they're stupid. They're not stupid, and they don't want their kids to watch half of these things. And the adults, all the stuff for the adults, like the Star Wars stuff that really the kids are not into anyway, really, they don't want to watch that because it's destroying their childhood. So, I mean, who's it for? Why? All they're doing is remaking old successful animated films into reimagined live action, where it's just one after another political messaging, and then people are tired of it. But
that's what I mean. They're not even that good, Lee, are they? That's the problem. Like
remotely good. I mean, it's just turgid. I'm sorry, Disney is not Disney anymore. Forget the Disney of old. It's not the same company.
Corporate crap.
It's super corporate, and it's
that's it.
They've sold creativity down the road. Disney will be revolving in his freezer.
There it is. So a platform combining Hulu and Disney Plus will launch by the end of 2023. Now, would that actually explain the fact why we haven't had any news about the Orville? Because it's gone all quiet about that as well.
Yeah,
maybe this is the reason this merger was going to happen. But again, it's so stupid, right? Disney could actually fix this if they just went back to what worked before, as Lee said. It's not rocket science here, right? Disney, when I said it on Jerry's channel earlier on, the Disney brand, years ago when you grew up and you saw the Disney logo, you knew you were actually going to see something very good.
It was magical.
Now you see the Disney logo, you know it's going to be full of woke rubbish.
Yeah. Shite. It's unadulterated shite. It's not even average. It's not even there. It's not even mediocre. It's bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. And thank God there's a writer's strike on. Now maybe they can sort the wheat from the chaff if there's anything left.
And here's the thing.
They're with it, I don't think.
As you said, they're dipping into their back catalogue and doing all these live action movies, but they're not working, and the back catalogue is not actually saving them. And then on top of that, then you've got a Star Wars franchise that is completely disjointed and it has divided the fandom, as you said, Lee, and hasn't made the money that it was expected to make. And then you've got the problems with our parks as well. I mean, we did speak about this like late last year. Do you remember? We did a stream that Disney was on the brink. But I mean, this really is bad.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
to lose 4 million subscribers in your second quarter. Remember, we're not even halfway through the third quarter yet. I mean, it's going to be, and they got the Little Mermaid coming out. They've showed the slate that they're actually going to be coming out with, and there's nothing on that slate that jumps out and says, "Yeah, this could be the movie that could make Disney money." There's nothing. They're in trouble. They're in serious trouble. But
Good. It's the only way they'll learn. I mean,
Yeah.
you think they would have learned already, but no. They just keep doubling down. I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like in their heads, because I mean, I would die of loneliness, frankly. I mean, it's so bloody stupid, and the fact that they keep repeating the same thing is madness. That is the first.
that's the thing that's funny about all of this, is the fact that they keep making the same mistakes. It's like they haven't learned.
It's almost like Hollywood is being deliberately sabotaged. That they want to consolidate all the studios, like buy it up 10 to $1 or whatever. To me, that sounds like a power grab going on here. Who can sink to the bottom fastest? Who can sink a company fastest? And then someone can swoop in, buy it all up, and then be the only gang in town, so to speak. I mean, I can't think of any other reason for it. Can you?
No, it doesn't make logical sense.
No.
Tinfoil hat aside, but I think, there has
Why are
to be
you
an
deliberately
explanation.
bankrupting your own the juggernaut that is Disney? Like, I don't get it. I actually really don't. You're right, Lee. It is mind-boggling.
Sabotage. It looks like sabotage.
But why? Can I ask you, why do you think they would sabotage it? Do you think it's because it's gone too big and they can't manage it anymore, and maybe if they broke it up, it'd be more manageable?
Probably.
I couldn't honestly tell you. It could simply be some insert has gone to wreck it, like someone's been sent in to wreck it, so that someone else, who's maybe got them in to whatever to knock it down, and so that they can buy it up. I don't know. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. I'm grasping at straws because I'm struggling to find an explanation. I mean, anything that makes logical sense. I don't know if we're dealing with logical people, but you're thinking,
oh no,
surely these people are in the business of making money.
Or is it, I'll just put it out there, or do these people really believe that they're actually putting out great content and we are the problem?
Quite possibly.
And I don't mean we are the problem. They are the problem, but maybe they think we're the problem.
Well, there is an elitist attitude in Hollywood. We've seen it on display over the number of years, especially during lockdown, especially during Trump, especially during whatever excuse that they find, BLM, blah blah blah, you name it, Me Too. We've seen them moralizing down at us from their ivory towers. So there is a lot of that, but that's a lot of the actors and people. I don't know if they genuinely believe that, or if they're just trying to ride, the trend, which really isn't a trend; it's manufactured and corporate. But I do think that there could be some of that, but I do genuinely think that there is some foul play afoot somewhere, because it doesn't make sense that it's just ideological. If you're in the business of making money, I don't know. Either there's some kind of scam going on here, or some kind of subterfuge, or whatever, some kind of backdoor thing going on.
Here's a question for you, Lee.
Or blackmail. It's the only thing I can think of.
I tell you what, I think it is.
Right, go on, PD. You give your point first, and then I have a question for the two of you.
Yeah, knowing how all this crazy stuff works, seriously, from my days when I was working as IT technician education, I have this horrible, horrible feeling that they're pandering to ESG scores, and it's just got out of hand. But behind the scenes, it's not like it. But in front of the scenes, so to try and get their ESG scores and get their credit line, they're acting like we're the wokest thing ever. Oh, we're brilliant. Oh, we're wonderful. And all this, Oh, we look BLM. Oh, Antifa and all this.
But why is this ESG thing happening? Who's making this thing? Exactly. So I think there's some kind of espionage going on where they're trying to sink these companies in order to swoop in and buy them up. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense.
It's Vanguard, BlackRock. Yeah, but it's all this. This is the thing, because I saw this coming in the mid 2000s. I hated it. One of the reasons I got out of IT was because of the bloody attitude that all these kind of big businesses had. Oh, we want the next big piece of software. We want it yesterday. Oh, we wanted you to know how to use it yesterday, and all this kind of attitude. It peed me off. I got sick of listening to the crap. Oh, sorry, no, go on.
No. It's an interesting question that I think the two of you I think this is an interest. Do you think that they probably put all their eggs in the one basket with the whole Star Wars thing because they spent so much money on it? And then obviously they fouled the ball after the first movie. It just took fans a little while to realize that they fouled the ball on the first movie. But do you think that they had this whole grand plan for Star Wars? Because remember, after the movies failed, then, you know, we even heard that Mando was actually, you know, Mando wasn't the original idea for the show. It was supposed to be some other show, but they renamed it Mando and Black.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what could have happened? That Disney put all their eggs in one basket with Star Wars because it was such a huge franchise and they thought they could elevate it, but then they put Kathleen Kennedy in, who just seems to have wanted to sabotage the thing from day one.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I'm not too sure, my friend. I'm just, I just think, it's kind of the thing about businesses. It's everyone wants to see who's got the biggest proverbial willy, if you know what I mean. And it's like, oh, I can be more woke than you. Oh, no, I'm the wokest and all this. It just goes like school playgrounds. And I think that's what kind of happens as well.
I think there's an element of playing the long game. And I think that they genuinely think that, okay, we may have lost Gen Z, but we'll carry on to Gen 0 or Alpha, whatever they are.
Alpha,
So I think there's an element of them persisting with this and putting out the indoctrination message and popularizing it or trying to popularize it through the schools and all that kind of thing. So trying to create a cultural block. Where people will just be funneled into just accepting this message all the time, over and over and over and over again. If they drop the ball now, then it'll all be for nothing for their reprogramming, whatever it is, the WEF manufactured nonsense. So I think there's a lot of that possibly going on. So it could be that it's just taking longer than they expected, or they're just like, okay, we'll take the hit in the meantime, but we'll get that generation that those kids will fiddle with their brains and whatever else, and then just turn them into consumers that will just lap this crap up.
Hey Jack,
I just don't think they will.
Yeah, but Lee, it's like I was saying in the Jerry's chat, they start this vicious circle and it just comes back and keeps hitting them. It's like they push something, they push the hammer, and it comes back, and keeps smacking them on the arse.
I hope they go bust before.
Yeah, so do I.
Before it works in their favor.
Yeah. I also have to say this: if you want to see a very good video about it, if you go and watch Andre's video on Anheuser-Busch, it is brilliant because he goes into all the credit lines and all that. Our friend over at Midnight Edge, they hammer it. Andre nails it. I'll put the link in the chat to Midnight Edge, but absolutely hammered it.
Yeah, we need that boycott that happened to Bud Light to go to. We can see it does work. I think it will. Does work now.
Well, 4 million people have unsubscribed from Disney Plus. I mean, if you were actually to get the word out there, you're right, Lee. I think you could really do serious damage to Disney.
The only problem with tackling someone the size of Disney is they have their fingers in so many pies.
That's the problem with it.
Untangle yourself from so many companies that provide so many things that are owned by Disney. It will be a minefield. But even if you did half of the companies, or if you go, well, I can live without that, I can live without that, I can live without that, you will still be doing damage. But if enough people did that, that would be an awful lot of accumulated withholding of wealth.
It's like what's happened to Anheuser-Busch at the moment. Everyone has stopped drinking Anheuser-Busch brands.
And people have done the homework. People have done the homework. They see what other companies are owned by that umbrella company, and they're boycotting those products as well.
Sure, so it's transpired as well now. I think the writer from the Gremlins, or the person behind the Gremlins, has said that Baby Yoda, I still call him Baby Yoda, was a direct rip-off of Gizmo.
Gizmo, yeah.
And you know,
straight away.
they kind of do recycle ideas like that all the time. But yeah, you could see that. To be quite honest, but Mandalorian dipped after season 1 anyway.
Well, that's because you know
Kathleen
KK
Kennedy
was thrown back into the mix, wasn't
Yeah.
she? So what can you do? I mean, it's just mismanaged. It's either massive incompetence,
gross incompetence,
like on the level of what is it? The thick of it, that kind of mishandling.
I just don't know how you could do
or it's some malevolent force that is trying to sink these companies to buy them up. I don't know. I'm just putting my opinion out there. Waffling for the sake of it.
But
like,
I think that's a good little theory, though, because that would make that's the only thing, Lee, that would make logical sense, though.
Yeah.
Because
total idiots.
What else could it be? I mean, they're either really that stupid, or there is something more to this, as you said. I think that I agree. I tend to agree with you. I think there is more to this whole situation, because there's no way you could be sitting back as the CEO of Disney, right, and thinking it's all right to be losing all of this money unless it's part of a grander plan.
Yeah.
Has to be. Be.
It's a long game. They're playing a long game. I just hope that they run out of resources. I don't know, because they seem to have an infinite amount of resources.
They do.
They've got BlackRock Vanguard behind them.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be just an infinite well
credit
of
lines.
cash.
It's all credit lines.
Who knows? Who really knows? But I mean,
it's like in the age of piracy and all that. You remember they had like sea routes, channel routes and stuff. All the routes across the Atlantic, and the pirates attack certain ones. It's like that. If you attack them and you destroy certain routes, they'll start losing, and it'll just fall apart in the end. That's what we've got to do.
I mean, God only knows, but I mean, business, especially businesses that big.
Oh God!
I mean, you got big sharks against other big sharks, so
yeah,
they might be taking chunks out of each other using any means possible. Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, it's savage out there. You just got
can't
even begin to imagine.
Some of these CEOs are the first most crazy people in the world are actually CEOs.
Well, they're all psychos, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all sociopathic. I mean, there was a study done on it, and it was like kind of like top 1 is like CEOs. I think the top two is like news anchors and stuff and journalists.
Well, that makes sense.
And it's like clergymen and like politicians like number 8 and number 10. So clergymen were 3, and then it was like I think politicians came at number 8 or something. Weird. It's a weird study. It was on trigonometry a while back. It was really
good. I saw that.
Yeah.
Right, we might as well move on, unless you guys have anything else to add to this Disney disaster. If not,
well, apparently whatever happens to Disney, everything Doctor Who related is going to be fine, which is saddening to me, quite honestly, because I think the damage is going to be incalculable.
Well,
just international distribution.
But doesn't that explain, Lee, why Disney have now gone to other production companies and say, look, we'll buy the broadcast rights to your shows? That's why Doctor Who.
Well, this is what got them in the trouble. That's what got them in trouble in the first place. They overextended themselves by buying up all these franchises.
Exactly.
And it, you can't bank on things that are unbankable. Because you might get a well-known franchise. You might own that. You might own Fox, which was the thing that I think sunk them. You might get Disney, Marvel. You might get Star Wars, but if you don't give those built-in fans what they want, you're alienating the very thing that gave the product value in the first place. Yeah. And that's what they've done. They've devalued Marvel. They've devalued Star Wars. Where do you go from there? I mean, you're going to buy up more stuff and then devalue that as well? You're crazy.
I mean, the Anheuser-Busch thing is a perfect example of this now, because it was kind of like more kind of frat boy culture, and now you're destroying frat boy culture and making it like it's not. And people are walking away in droves.
This is the question, who are you targeting? I mean, who is your audience? Who are your customers? You're chasing after these non-existent, tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of a minority who don't buy your stuff in the first
for higher ASG scores. Yeah.
How many Mullen Mulvaney's, are you going to buy your beer? They're not buying beer.
Yeah.
No.
They're drinking, I don't know, cocktails or something. You know, like
Dillon's,
really?
yeah.
Know your audience.
I just wanted to put this up, this up here because we're talking about Disney, but this just goes to show, like, I mean, you know, you get Rogue One, right? Now, I don't know where you stand on that, but like, as I said, I'm not a Star Wars fan per se. I'm more of a Trekkie, as you know, but I've grown up with all the movies. I've watched them all, every single one, right? But how can Disney go for making this movie, Rogue One, which I believe personally is the best thing they've ever done Star Wars content-wise, right? How could they go writing such a great movie like this? And it was, let's be honest, it was a great movie. To then producing the crap that they've produced. So they've shown us, right? Or someone within Disney has shown us, or whoever was behind this project, have showed us that they can actually write a Star Wars movie. So why haven't they gone? I don't know. I just don't get why they haven't gone.
Because they fired the director for that one 80% of the way through.
That and the fact that Me Too happened and all the woke stuff really started happening.
And then you had all
that derailed everything. And then you had all the diversity inclusion policies. Which
and then they messed up in China with the posters. Do you remember that as well? John Boyega was made smaller in the poster, or in some posters he actually disappeared while they were preaching to everybody else here on this side of the pond that they were inclusive. Like, so they have damaged,
as I said earlier,
damaged the brand anyway. I mean, they've damaged the Star Wars brand now. I mean,
it's corporate malfeasance. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Good way, putting it.
Just don't know how they recover, to be quite honest with you. But they will, I reckon, if they get their act.
Well, if they got an infinite pool of resources from a bunch of shady billionaires, and of course they will, you know.
Yeah.
And if not, they'll be purchased by one of those billionaires' umbrella companies, like whatever, or Apple. Swooping.
Well, I haven't watched the Peter Pan and Wendy movie. But I have seen those awful clips they've been putting up of the Little Mermaid. Now, listen, before anybody has a go at me, I'm not even going to bring skin color into this, right? The only thing that I'm going to bring into it is the special effects, okay? And I've got to tell you, those special effects look absolutely awful, right? Without even judging the movie or judging the actress, right? Just judging it on the special effects and the trailers that I've saw, I'm not highly impressed with that movie. This
is what Disney does, though, you know, because they are a manufacturer of product. They're not a creative hub.
Not anymore, no.
They're not a dream factory. They are churning out turgid thing after turgid thing after turgid thing because they realize that they can't put out quality, so they put out quantity. And the thing is, they are underpaying their VFX staff. They probably cut their numbers down. They are working them like a sweat house.
Yeah,
and they are under a lot of time constraints because they're churning this stuff out. They're not being able to put out a quality product because Disney are obsessed with just churning this stuff out because they've got lost faith in absolutely everything that they're doing. Clearly.
Yeah. It's like watching Borg drones trying to paint the Mona Lisa and completely faffing it up, isn't it? Smashing the person's hands.
It's like that woman who tried to do the restoration of that picture of Jesus. Remember the painting?
And she painted the
That's Disney now.
Yeah,
that was awful.
Whistler's mother. It's Whistler's mother, Mr. Bean version.
Seriously, that was awful. That was, man, and it still looks awful. And there was another painting. Spilled something on it, and then man, I would be devastated if I owned that piece of art. Holy crap! But anyway, are we done with Disney yet?
Who isn't?
Right, we're done with Disney because I want to bring up a legend of an actor, and we'll go with Richard Dreyfuss next, just to. So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. I don't even like the Hollywood Reporter, to be honest, but the link is in the link description. But we'll just read a bit of this article. You know, I don't read the whole article out because YouTube is funny nowadays. So we'll just get the general gist of it. So Richard Dreyfuss says Oscars inclusion requirements make me vomit. No one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give in to the latest, most idea of what mortality is, or morality. Sorry, is. The actor said in a recent interview, and I won't play the audio because we probably get into trouble, but he's criticized the Academy emoji, blah, 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 blah. The Jaws actor told Margaret Hoover on Friday's episode of PBS Firing Line that the minimum requirements films will have to meet related to representation and inclusion to be eligible for the Best Picture Oscar make me vomit. Right, I'm going to actually agree with him there, right? Not make him vomit. He says it there, it's an art form. And that's exactly what I'm going to say. So this is you basically saying, right, if you don't have a certain quota in your movie, right, even if that movie is one of the best movies ever made, it cannot be considered for an Oscar because you didn't tick boxes. That is a bad message to be sending out. I don't care what anybody says.
It's anti-art. Filmmaking is an art form. And what you've done is you've politicized it. Once you politicize anything artistic, it's no longer artistic.
Exactly.
It's propaganda. It's studio intervention. It's corporate power. It's corporate and state combined, because we have this in the United States where they're putting through these federal laws around this issue. You've got the corporations supporting that. Obviously, you've got more the Republican side who are trying to go state by state against it. But ultimately, the power has always been in the hands of these elites. And the thing is, once you do all this kind of stuff, it becomes the propaganda tool of the state and corporation, which we all know is a bundle of sticks tied together, which is a fasci, right? So that's where we are at. Okay, this is state propaganda funded by the corporations who are the apparatus of the state, and so you've got all this interference. And bless him for coming out and saying this, because he's right. Not only is he right, but he obviously doesn't give a crap, because
he never gave a toss. And I like that the old school actors don't give a toss.
He's always been bloody minded. Yeah, absolutely. Bloody minded, rightfully so. That's the only way to be. And it really does throw a spotlight on how absurd it is. You can't tell me that if a film, let's say an amazing film about, I don't know, Henry III or something like that, was made, big battle scenes, big, sets, and, all the rest of it, and huge cast of thousands or something. You're telling me that you have to have gay or black or Asian representation in that? That is so insipid. And it's mindlessly inserting people where historically they just weren't there. They didn't belong. I'm sorry, that's just the way it was. You can't tell me that historicals now have to be, you have to have this representation, that's such absolute abject nonsense. It has to stop, because if you keep doing this, you're educating a whole generation of kids that this happened, or it was always like this, and you're denying the truth of history, warts and all, however ugly it was, or however homogenous a particular country was at a particular given historical time. That's how it was. And to deny that is to deny the truth, and anything that denies the truth is for political purposes only, and that is always suspect, and it must be defeated. Nothing to say that you can't have diversity in films, but you have to do them in the right organic way. I mean, there's nothing to stop you making films with diversity. I've said this so many times. I would love to see the Mahabharata, the Indian folklore of gods and all this kind of stuff. Do that, Hollywood. Show me that. Show me the Skunk and Nancy, the Skunk and Nancy, the Anansi stories. Show me that, the African gods. I want to see that, or the Sumerian gods, Enlil and Enki from, the whatever, the Sumerian folklore. Like, I want to see that. That's going to be, people from, you don't even need a single white person. That's fine.
That's what I mean. They could tap into so many cultures out there.
Yeah.
And if they actually did their research and did it properly, and this is the thing, if they respected respected it and they did it properly, everybody would go and watch those.
But that's not what they're
type of
interested in doing.
movies.
They're only interested in subverting
They
Western
want to change
culture.
it, yeah.
They're only
Pushing the
interested in
message,
subverting Western culture. It's like hand-me-down clothes. I can't think of anything more insulting, quite honestly, to both Europeans and people of color, which I hate that expression, so forgive me, but it's insulting to them. It's like saying, well, your culture doesn't matter. We're going to give you Wakanda and you'll like it. It's not even real.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. That is so... If you want to talk about white supremacy, that's it. That's how they see people of color. Sorry again, as being conduits for their own sort of backslapping, virtue.
Exactly.
Signal. It really is very distasteful, and that's how they look at people in those terms. And I think it's disgusting, and I think it's racist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Spot on. Well said, man. Well said. Let's
Only
see.
thing I can say on this subject, all I'm going to say is the new Cleopatra thing at Netflix. It's an exact example of what's going on. You heard about the Cleopatra at Netflix at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
the
that is
Cleopatra
getting
Netflix.
ripped to pieces at the moment.
Got 0 on Metacritic, and
But apparently we're all
20%
racist.
on
We're all racist. For
Egyptians
coming
are
out with this
racist.
argument.
The Egyptians are they
Exactly.
accuse the entire nation of Egypt as racist for
Yeah.
not liking
Exactly.
Cleopatra because they cast a black woman in the role of what should have been a Macedonian Greek woman.
Yeah,
And
because the
they know
Egyptian,
their own history. They've known it for a few thousand bloody years.
Exactly.
Netflix can't turn around and say you're wrong and you're racist. That is the epitome of racism.
Yeah.
When Netflix is telling you, oh, all Africans have to be black, even though Egyptians were not black. So it's like saying, well, you don't exist. Your culture is irrelevant. We're telling you what. I'm sorry, get in the damn bin.
No, you're right, spot on, man. It's ridiculous. Like, if you're going to do historical events and you do it the way. Look, it was the way of society at the time. You can't keep it, changing these things because you want to revise history. It's not going to happen.
It's perverse, and it
Exactly.
has to stop.
Fine
if you want to do an alternative reality or another universe where this happened, or alternative history. Fine, say that, but don't tell me that's a goddamn documentary
or a private universe.
It's a FU-mentary.
Exactly. It's a rewrite, revisionist.
Yeah, and it never ends well, but they never learn, and they keep doing it. And that's the problem that we have.
because Vanguard keeps propping them up. That's why. Oh, I'll give you some.
And then we're the problem. We're the racist. We're the racist, whatever. Any phobes they want to throw at us.
It's a corporate-sponsored struggle session.
Yeah.
To get you to comply. And I'm sorry, I didn't grow up that way. I don't.
You just want that Life of Brian moment. All the people.
You must think for yourselves.
All the Israelites are just laughing on the floor at the Romans. That's what you just need to do to them.
We have to mock Hollywood, not only just punish them financially and not go to their movies or whatever. We must laugh our asses off, and we will mock the
seriously.
They hate
that's what I said. Yeah, I think with Charlotte and PD there on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. We need to start supporting more fan stuff.
Independent films,
independent stuff. You're right, Lee.
Absolutely. Stuff like that. Alternative things.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't been to the theatre to see a good play now in years.
Me neither. And I missed
the last Operate one.
Yeah, I might check it out, see if there's any going, because we've got a couple of theatres in Dublin, and they're only up the road from me, so it'd be worth checking out. Yeah, I went to see a John B. Keane play years ago, and I was absolutely enthralled, man. I thought I remember going in thinking this is going to be the worst experience of my life, right? And I came out of it having the best experience of my life.
Uh-oh, they
There is
cultured well.
nothing like going to a good play, especially
Oh,
in a
yeah.
small intimate theatre, because you get so involved in what's going on, and it's there live in front of you, and it's so entertaining, and they put so much hard work in, and it's live. Real human beings running around, no CGI, and it's visceral. You know, it's right there, and the energy in the room can change. You know, and it's so clever how people can transform you in a small space like that.
Yeah,
I agree.
it is. It's good
It's
to
like
work
an
on
out
as
of body
well.
experience, isn't it?
Yeah. Last one I worked on like that was a bunch of amateurs. We had a bell of a time. The after show party was amazing afterwards. We all just got absolutely drunk. But it was fun.
A lot of people say amateur dramatics are like as a slur against Hollywood. Oh, it's very like they said about Cleopatra in the reviews. Oh, it's very amateur dramatic. But having said that, I think a lot of Amdram is actually a lot better than a lot of professional shows. And you know, go to the local theatre groups. You know,
we do it for the love, Robbie.
Yeah,
we do it for the love.
Passion.
Exactly.
That's it. The passion kind of when it's a big company doing it. I'm not saying that the people that aren't in it aren't passionate, but it's more. There's more financial pressure on that sort of thing. Whereas with, as you said, with the amateur stuff, there's not that. I'm not saying there isn't pressure, cause there is, but there's not that financial pressure. Do you know what I mean? You can really enjoy yourself. And I agree.
They don't have any pretensions. You know, they have a budget. They can't exceed it, and they have to work within that budget. And sometimes it's very stripped down and minimal, but then they focus more on the performance.
Yeah.
And the lighting and the mood and the atmosphere, the way they arrange the seating, all sorts of things. You know,
I agree.
That is exciting for me. I like
it. Man, now that we're talking about it, man, seriously, it's been years, but I'm not messing. It was one of the best experiences of my life. I never thought I'd enjoy it. But this particular, I can't even remember the name of the play, to be quite honest with you. And it actually annoys me, but I remember that it didn't start off at the front with the curtain, right? The curtain pulled over, but there was nobody there. And I was like, what's going on here? And some of the cast came down through the aisles, and it was great. Wow. It was a little bit of fan interaction with the audience, like as they were going up onto the, and then the play. I was just so engrossed, man. Being honest, I went in thinking this is going to be the worst experience of my life because I didn't think I'd enjoy that sort of thing. But I tell you something, man.
Go on, sorry.
No, go on.
If you see a very good amateur dramatic performance of Ben-Hur, the stage play version, it's brilliant. You'll love it, Noel. You've got the actors coming and walking. I love the movie, so yeah. So the actors coming and walking through the bar area, like all in like dressing gowns and stuff, and chatting to all the guests. That's what we did when we did it. It was brilliant. Everyone loved it.
I went to see it in the Abbey Theatre.
Yeah.
Famous theatre in Dublin, the Abbey Theatre. It was great. Seriously, man. I recommend it to people. I didn't think I would enjoy it, but it was like an out of body experience. And you were glued to your seat, but you were glued to everything that was going on around you. And the performances, I just didn't expect it, to be quite honest with you. What those people do every night and get up on stage, seriously, to do what they do, I commend them. Like, actors on camera is kind of different to stage work. It is. And stage work, it's a lot more personal. You're right there, front and center, and you're watching these people, and the pressure's on to not make a mistake and all of that. But if they do, they just move on. It you know what I mean? It carries on. I just have so much admiration for anybody that gets up on stage and does what those people do. And fair play to them. And the industry, let's be honest, has been decimated because of the pandemic. So I would say, like all the actors and actresses out there have been for the last few years, go and support your local theatre and obviously the big ones, because that you don't want that form of entertainment to die, folks. That's the most natural form of acting you will get.
Yeah.
Right? That is the natural form of acting. That is right there. If we lose that, That's you don't want to lose that. You want to save that. So get out there and support your local communities and those big production players seriously, because they could do with all the help. Because during the pandemic they were decimated, and that is actually sad. And they're still trying to recover, and it's going to take a while. But if people start getting up, if you want a night out, seriously, it's actually a good night out.
It's cheap as well, most places.
So yeah, I'll stop banging on about that now.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But there you go. Go and see a play, seriously. But let's talk about something that's happening, and it's official now. So Beetlejuice 2 is happening, and Winona Ryder will return as Lydia Dietz. And also, if I'm correct in saying, Jenna Ortega has also been confirmed as well. So Beetlejuice 2 is happening. I don't know what you guys think. I'm a bit skeptical about this one.
Yeah.
But the original cast are coming back. There's no word on Alec Baldwin, of course, because of his trouble. We don't know if he's actually going to be coming back. But they've also cast Justin Theroux. He has been cast in Beetlejuice as well. So that's other casting news there for the movie. But guys, what do you think of this happening? Because I said it a couple of weeks ago. I think Hollywood's new thing now is going to be, and they've been slowly but surely stepping it up, sequels, and especially sequels from movies that happened 30, 40 bloody years ago now. You know what I mean? It's getting a bit ridiculous.
80s nostalgia 2.0, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you in favor of this movie, Lee? What do you like the first movie? I have to ask you.
I did. I mean, I think it was a product of its time. I just don't think it's particularly. I don't think it will work. The part of its charm was the practical effects. Now we just know it's just going to be all completely CGI, probably. The original cast involved, fine. I just think it's just desperation at this point. I don't see any artistic merit. I don't think it's a film that needed a sequel. No one was asking for a sequel, I don't think. I really couldn't give a shit.
Would be funny if they got Alec Baldwin back. If they got Alec Baldwin back, they just gave him banana to hold in every gun scene. Just have this banana.
Too soon.
What? Too soon?
I mean, he shouldn't be working again. Let's be honest.
No, pretty much.
He was irresponsible either way, right? And he is culpable because he's the executive producer. The fact that there's been nothing is absolutely ridiculous. But that's what happens when you're rich and famous. There's a different law.
What your name can get you. It's amazing what money and power and friends with influence can get you. Yeah.
So we won't have to wait long for this movie, though, because apparently it's slated for September the 6th, 2024. And Tim Burton's returning as well. I want to make that point, though, that Tim Burton is returning, though. And I think that is a plus because, if they were to do it with someone else, then I think I'd have more of an issue with it. But Tim Burton is returning. But I'm kind of like Lee. I'm conflicted about this because Beetlejuice was of its time.
I'll wait to see a trailer.
It's not a sequel franchise.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll wait to see a trailer. I can only judge it upon. I'd rather forget about it and then, look, there's a trailer for Beetlejuice 2. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's either really good or not really good. And then I can make an informed decision. What I think is, good or not.
No, I think that's fair. And I think that's the way to judge things nowadays, isn't it? You got to give it a chance, see the trailer and then, if you think the trailer is decent, then obviously you'll wait for the thing to come out and then you'll judge it then, But I think that's the way it should be done. I don't think we should. I am skeptical about this because, it's so, it's what, 20, nearly 30 years or something since the sequel.
a kid when it was out.
And I mean, that's a bit too long to be waiting. It's the same with Chicken Run. They've done the same with Chicken Run now. But here, we'll move on to this because I know there's a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans in the chat like myself who grew up with the cartoon and the 90s. The 90s movies are still my favorite, but I didn't mind the two Nickelodeon ones that they did.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they did change the origins of the Turtles, I still kind of did like them. And
yeah, where's
Megan
Shelley?
Fox.
Where's Shelley? She likes turtles.
In fairness, Megan Fox was hot in those movies. I don't care
yeah.
what anybody says. Like, you know, and she was actually pretty decent in the movie, you know, as April O'Neil. It should have been a redhead, but still.
I liked her in Transformers.
Yeah, she's good in the first Transformers movie. I mean, yeah, she is a good actress if she's given the right script, but the directors, like even some directors said they only cast her to put her in a bleeding skirt, for God's sake. They didn't even cast her for her talent, like, you know, it's ridiculous though. But this Jeff Rowe fella says that he wanted the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mayhem to be like Stand By Me and Ladybird, but you know, with Ninja Turtles.
Oh, God.
No, he doesn't understand the Ninja Turtles then.
It's this long fucking boring trend of
boring now,
deconstructing all these franchises and trying to do something new with it, because, you know, these people come in, it's like what happened to the Doctor Who fan, and they come and say, oh, it's all about change, you know, and it's the same mentality, and it's like, no, it isn't. Stop lying, or stop being
change
ignorant.
For the worst.
And it's just used. That's just used as an excuse to change it from what it was to something new, and then going, "Yeah, boo sucks for you," you know, and it's patently obvious.
Who's
it for? Anybody watched Stand By Me and was a fan of Stand By Me or Ladybird, whatever the hell that is? I don't even know. I didn't watch it. It's probably not going to be a Ninja Mutant Turtle kind of fan. I'm just saying there might be some crossover, but I'm saying I don't think that's.
No, I agree. That's my problem with it, man. It's not Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles isn't a hybrid of Stand By Me and that Ladybird thing. It's not. You know what I mean? Right, you want to show them younger, that's fine. But, I mean, you show them getting in, you know, they're going to get into scrapes and stuff like that. But if you're going to kind of do it like a Stand By Me sort of, I don't think it's going to work, man. I don't know what they're playing at. It's more laziness, if you ask me.
I can understand it. They want this kind of like camaraderie with the Turtles, but you can't go and do like Stand By Me with them. It's just going to be weird.
Yeah, I get it that you want to do the whole brotherly love between them all and that friendship and stuff. And that is a nice way to go, but
they're brothers.
But
just making shit up, aren't they?
I know.
Yeah.
It's just like, and the neurodiversity, the electric current and stuff like this on the new iPhone. It's like, shut up, you know?
Well, we're going to talk about something that I know Lee will definitely want to give a comment on, because I think this is the most anticipated movie that's coming out this year. I think Lee already knows what I'm talking about before I even throw it up on screen. Yes, absolutely spot on. So brilliant. Christopher Nolan says telling Cillian Murphy that he is the lead in Oppenheimer was one of his favorite moments in the movie business. To be like, this is one where you carry the movie and really get to show what you can do. Now, I'm going to say something, right? Cillian Murphy for me is a great actor, and I don't think personally that he's gotten the recognition in Hollywood that he deserves. But this is the movie that I hope finally makes it. I know he was in the Batman Dark Knight trilogy, right? But he played the Scarecrow. Yeah. It should have kind of elevated him in America.
28 days later as well.
But this movie does, because he is a terrific actor and he's one of our own. So, like, you know.
Yeah. I would actually say he's a good professional as well, because he keeps work and play separate. He's brilliant for it. He's an old school actor. I wish more actors would do that. In this
And
day
have you
age.
heard him open his mouth about, woke shit or anything?
Nope.
I haven't. Nothing.
Never.
Nothing.
Never
That's
opens his
the
mouth
kind
about
of
stuff like that.
actor
Brilliant.
I like. I want to see
My-
more of that.
Yeah.
Like, look, we all know you're shit bags, right? Don't pretend to me that your mouth is full of treacle when it's full of shit. I know
Yeah.
the difference.
Ooh, nice one.
I know the difference. And it's like Oscar Wilde said, it's better to keep your mouth shut so people, you think you're stupid, but then open your mouth and remove all doubt. That's Hollywood could learn from that. And I think that someone like this is, so far, at least as far as I'm aware, hasn't played that Hollywood game. I just hope that if it does end up taking off from this and becoming a Hollywood type, that he doesn't get swept up along with that.
I don't think he will. I think Irish and English actors mostly, and the same with the actresses, they mostly stay level-headed. We're a different breed, Lee.
That's true.
So that it is, though, isn't it? I don't think we get caught up in all of that nonsense as much as the other American and Canadian actors would. They're more likely to jump on all of these, causes, whereas Irish actors and actresses, they will have causes, but there'll be charities and stuff like that, and they don't really get involved in stuff like that.
Unless you're Bono.
Unless you're Bono.
Yeah.
Well, he preaches to everybody. We're all sick of him. Where is he now, actually?
God,
Bono,
Don't
Bob,
even
come
know
out
where
the
he's
money,
living
Bob
now.
Bono.
Where's
He's
the
trying
money,
to build
Bono?
his studio in Dublin on the docks there, and I think they are building it, but it looks massive. It's going to be like a spaceship, man. Do you know Men in Black, where they climbed up onto the spaceships? Yeah, his recording studio is going to be like that because he has to have it up in the sky because he believes he's some sort of god or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't like Bono in this country, but let's get on to the next topic because this one
nice and big in the sky so he can jump off when inland revenue come and knocking.
So they
Sorry,
used
thick joke.
Jinx Monsoon's image in this article here. So RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars cast speak out against bigoted anti-trans legislation during MTV Movie and TV Awards. So they're all up in arms because they couldn't go up on stage and spout their nonsense about, how trans is great for kids and how drag story time is all right and all of this sort of rubbish. So they're actually angry at the moment. And Jinx has put up another video.
I'm sorry, if you need kids to do what you're doing to validate yourself, you need to get a life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do you need kids to validate yourself for?
Yeah,
I mean, that's really what this is all about.
I mean, I don't get it at all. I mean,
who are they to talk about bigoted? When earlier today, the Jinx Monsoon put out a post saying "clap if you're queer," and I'm like, no, that is to me bigoted. You don't give a shit about the fact that many gay men, particularly, experience extreme physical violence by people with skinheads who used to put the boot in, who used to use that word as they were doing it to me and to many others. I'm sorry, you do not come in and start claiming this Q word when it is deeply divisive and deeply offensive to a lot of people. And then don't give a crap,
That's time in my time.
I'm sorry, it's rampant hypocrisy from the TQ plus as usual. And LGB are going to be left mopping up as usual again. So I'm just like, shut your mouth. You're an ambassador for Doctor Who, and all you're doing is talking about losing a rubber up your bum. I'm sorry, that is not really family-friendly entertainment anymore, is it? So
no, you're right. You're absolutely spot on.
Let's be honest.
Shouldn't be even happening. And I mean, that so-called little comedy sketch that they did, I mean, the fact that they actually think they're funny, that there was nothing funny about that. I was like you. I was like, That is.
Oh, and
You
they love
realise what
attacking
you're
the
doing.
British. You know,
It's very
Yeah.
offensive, but
Attack the people who end up banning the slave trade. Yeah, just do that.
yeah. Never mind
absolutely
that.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Carry on. But that's
Yeah,
what
I
we're
mean-
dealing with in the Doctor Who fandom. We didn't want to drag
Jinx
Doctor Who,
Monsoon
but
is
Jinx was part
yeah,
of
but
it.
Jinx Monsoon is a mediocre talent. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's like
Well,
I'm
it's
sorry. End of
painfully
pier,
obvious.
darling. End of pier. And I'm sorry, you only got where you are because of tick boxing.
Gauche.
That's gauche is a very good word.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. This character is just not there because of their extreme. I'm not saying that they're not a decent singer. They're an average singer,
Yeah.
but they're an average singer who's got all the right check boxes. So of course they get all the work, you know. And that crossover, and you know, it's using your political clout to gain work. That's a grift.
Oh yeah.
It's a grift. And yeah, I'm sorry if you're gonna do mainstream television, it's particularly in the British, in Britain, maybe don't slag off the British, and maybe don't, you know, use a Q word. I'm sorry, people tend to think, oh, it's trendy, or it's popular, and it's just a very small, loud, vocal, vibrant, loud, bright, colourful bunch of people who make enough banging noises to get all the attention, to make it look like there's more of them and that it's super popular at the moment. No, it's manufactured, it's corporate sponsored, it's nonsense. The numbers just are not there, and you keep plugging away and trying to convince people that this is like ubiquitous and everywhere. No, I don't believe that. I do not believe. There's a lot of pushback on this. When that post went out, there were a lot of people in the comments saying that that's not in good order, and rightly so. I was one of them. But of course, you got the seals clapping, yes, Queen, and all that usual claptrap, and it's just like, oh god, bootlickers. I'm so tired of the quizzlings, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah. Jinx is doing. I'm gonna say this out straight though, but Jinx Monsoon and Suze Kentner are doing RTD no favors.
None whatsoever. Huge mistake.
Especially Jinx.
Huge.
Especially Jinx, though. I mean, I think that is going.
Well, the other non-entity is, you know, fluff, isn't it? Really, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jinx wants a major character in this. No, I'm not. Unless it's a Gestalt entity that, you know, as a group think hive mind, maybe that might make sense.
Let's hope they're not as controversial and they're actually good on screen, and then we could just concentrate.
I don't care because I won't be watching now.
Oh, you're not watching?
No. After the special, I'm going to give this because it's the 60th. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm done. I am out at this point.
All right. On that note, we'll move on to the next topic then, which is Tom Holland has a new series coming on Apple TV, and I watched the trailer, and it actually looks quite interesting. So basically, Tom Holland's character suffers, from what I've gathered from the trailer, is he suffered from a blackout and is accused of murder, and he is then, along with his lawyer, trying to prove his innocence. Have to say, I actually really liked the trailer.
I haven't seen it.
So yeah, well, if do you want to go, I'll just talk here for a second. If you want to go and check out the trailer real quickly.
Yeah, I'd just say as well that, you know, Apple TV might be up in their game a bit, because I had some. What was that TV show that I really liked? Oh god, I can't remember. It was a science fiction-y thing.
Yeah.
And that was really good, but a lot of their stuff is just woke rubbish. But Silo came out, and I watched the first couple of episodes. Silo was pretty good.
Rabbi loves that.
Yeah, I mean, it you know, I was a bit worried. Oh god, here we go. You know, the female engineer is going to be the best at everything. But I went in to give it a go, and I found it was quite enjoyable. So there are a few red flags. I don't know where it's going to go, but I really thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. anyway, I'll go and watch this trailer then. What's it
Yeah,
called
go and
again?
watch the
Guardian.
trailer. Tell
Okay.
me what you think, because and if you guys that are listening, go and check out the trailer. Let me know in the comment section there what you actually think. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting, and I would agree with Lee there. The Apple TV seem to be upping their game a little bit. Whether it's too late for all of these streaming apps platforms, we'll find out. But it's not too late for some. You know, they can resurrect themselves if they keep putting out quality content. But yeah, I have to say I really did enjoy that trailer, and I actually like Tom Holland. I remember watching him in that. He's in that movie about the tsunami. That was the first time I seen him in a movie. He was a little kid in that movie actually. With Ewan McGregor. It was about the tsunami. Do you remember the 2000 and
Oh,
was
yeah.
it 2001? Was
Don't
it? No,
remind me.
2005.
Yeah.
Tsunami.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So that was very good. Yeah. But I like him. Yeah, I think he's going to be very good. I rate him. I rate him as an actor now, I have to say. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in this. It looks pretty interesting, and the premiere is on the 9th of June, so I'll definitely be watching. I'll be definitely watching that one. So I know Lee is watching the trailer. Have you seen the trailer, PD?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Sorry, I thought you were waiting for Lee. No, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I mean, that's, you know.
Well, will
Getting
you
it.
go and watch it now while Lee is watching it? And then
I will go and watch it. And by the time I've watched it, Lee should be, you know.
Yeah, he'll be here then. Yeah. And let me know what you think of it. It's pretty interesting. It looks like it's going to be a
Crowded
good
Room,
show.
is it? Yep.
Yeah, The Crowded Room, Tom Holland.
Okay.
So yeah, while we're waiting on the lads, I'll do a few shout outs there because we didn't do the shout outs when we first started, so we'll do that now. So we got Nicholas Horton James in the chat as well. We got Bobby D 75 Zombie Box Reviews. PD Rich, obviously he's on the panel with me here, but he's also in the chat, making sure everything is okay. We got Chris in the chat as well. Welcome, Chris. Nice to see you, buddy. Who else have we got here this time? Also in the chat, John Jackrabbit. Cam's Crash Courses is also in the chat. Welcome. Who else have we got? If I've missed anybody, let me know. Scottish Stavros and Friends, Wrestle Cup Culture is in the chat as well. I'm pretty sure there's a few more names, so we'll just go up. Oh, I nearly hit the end broadcast button. That would have been a disaster. Garbage is also in the chat as well. If I've forgotten anybody, just drop your name there and I'll give you a shout out. But I hear Lee is back, so we'll ask Lee what he thought of that trailer.
Well, Tom Holland is left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Hey, not Brian's in the chat. Hello, sir. Good to see you. He's a good chap. That not Brian. He's not a bad chap. Yeah, it looks really interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty intrigued as to what it. Yeah, it hooked me in. That's a good trailer. Bit of an antithesis to Peter Parker, which is good. Good to see that he's showing a bit of diversity in his choices.
Oh, I do think he has range, Lee. I think he's been criticised for doing a lot of similar stuff.
This will be the thing that show. I've seen him in a couple of other things.
Yeah, same.
As what else? There's a girl in there who's an actress who was in Utopia, the American version, which was pretty good. Yeah, I'm intrigued. It's obviously set in either the late 70s or early 80s. So I'll give it a go.
Yeah, looks interesting. All right, PD, what do you think of it, Ben?
It's interesting. It looks like a good little whodunit story. I mean, Tom Holland looks really good in it. He's really evolving as a young actor, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he keeps it up now and doesn't keep leaking people's scripts and movie.
Oh yeah, he's got a bit of a habit of that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has a record of doing that quite a lot actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like him. I rate him, and I really hope this series showcases his acting ability because a lot of people have argued that he's kind of doing the same sort of stuff. But I would disagree with that because he done Uncharted as well, and that was a completely different role, and I thought he was very good in that. I know people don't really like that movie, but I played the games, and yeah, it's not exactly like the games, but it cherry picked some of the best bits out of it, and it was a good fun movie. So I was hoping for a second one. I don't know if it'll happen, but I hope it does. But yeah, I want to see him in this, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Does anybody else in the? Let me see. I read an article. Hold on. Warped eyebrows in the chat. How are you? He says, I read an article that said Aaron Taylor Johnson is tipped highly to be the next 007 after excellent screen tests. Let's see who Aaron Taylor Ryan is.
I don't know. Is he chiseled jawed enough? He's a bit
do you know
twinky.
who he is? Yeah,
vaguely, but I don't know. He's a good-looking lad. I don't really know much about his acting, so I can't really comment. But I mean,
let me see.
I don't know.
Okay, right. He's not James Bond. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, but no,
he's a bit too pretty.
He was
he's not. James Bond has to be rugged. He has to have that rough look, and he just looks too much like a
pretty boy.
A pretty boy. Yeah, that'd be the description. I'll put him up on screen for you there so everybody can see what I'm saying.
Oh, the guy from Kick-Ass. Yeah, the kid from Kick-Ass.
Him. Where is it? It's this image.
Yeah. That's it.
There he is.
But he's
nah, man, he's not James Bond. Don't care what anybody says.
No, he played Quicksilver in one of the Marvel films. Second one, I think, like an Avengers film.
No way.
Age of Ultron.
If that's the choice, then I think they fell the ball there.
I didn't realize it's from High Wycombe. Jeez, it was American.
Seriously, they fell the ball there. It should be Henry or someone.
There's a picture of him in a tux with shorter hair. Hold on, let me send it to you. Done.
Yeah, but I think even with short hair, he still doesn't look
the
part,
I don't think he's 100% right.
I mean, he was great in Kick-Ass, but that's a long time ago, and he was a lot younger.
Yeah, there's no Kick-Ass 3, so there we go.
Yeah, it's probably
love that soundtrack.
There he is with short hair there. Right, okay. This is a decent photograph that and then you can make up his own mind. So I'll be fair and I'll
just imagine him saying shaken but not stirred. Let's see if that works.
Right.
Okay, Dedo.
Right, hold on, just bear with me because this happened to be a newspaper article. I thought it was a photograph. I went into a photograph. Why are you showing me a newspaper article? And the photograph is not there now. It's a real old article. Oh man, here, this one. Maybe this one. Nah, he's definitely not, man. Nah, there's no way he's James Bond. Get away. He's too pretty faced to be James Bond.
Yeah, because he's got.
And he wouldn't convince me that he's a womanizer. No way, man. No, not a chance. He's sorry,
a demonizer, maybe.
For me, he just looks a bit too. There he is. There, I'll scroll up as we. Can you see him? Yeah.
Oh, well, my picture didn't work.
Well, where's your picture?
I sent it on Twitter. And
okay. I'll go into Twitter now, but yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, that'll. But there you go. No, I want to accept and cookie fake off.
It looks more like IT, someone who works in the firm.
We'll just go to what Lee wanted me to show. Hold on, give me a second. I should have just done that in the first place. Save all this bleeding effort. Yeah. Anyway, nah, he's not James Bond for me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be out straight there. And where did you send in the chat that we have?
The Friday night contact, yeah.
Yeah. Grand. Oh yeah, there you go. Let me see. No, man. Still no for me. No, man, he's got that
Shaken,
stupid
but not
earring in
stirred.
his ear as well. Get away.
Yeah.
I know he wouldn't have the earring in his ear playing Bond, but still, a man that
James
wears
Bond
an
Jr.
earring,
maybe. Yeah.
you know, I wore one myself, so I don't know why I'm actually slagging him off. But I
Yeah,
used
but
to
you're
wear
not
one back
going
in
up
the
for
day.
James Bond.
Yeah.
No,
Nah, man, his nose
really.
is crooked. I'm sorry, his jawline is not the way. It's too narrow looking.
It looks like it would
Rough.
break if you know.
Yeah, his shoulders are not broad enough. He's got a weird looking misshapen ear that I'll just, I'll just keep looking at his ear there. I'm sorry, man, he ain't Bond to me.
Looks more like a pop star than James Bond.
It's like it belongs
No
in a
way.
boy band.
That's it.
Yeah, yes. The boy band version of James Bond. No way.
Yeah.
More
James
like
Bond
Basil
Jr.
than
might,
Bond.
but not
I
James
mean,
Bond.
in saying that though, we're looking at him and we're saying no way he's Bond, but
Gay bondage, maybe.
But here's the thing. Unless we actually see, if they did they showed us his audition, maybe that would help win fans over. But I don't know, man. That ain't Bond to me.
I think Boy George would chain you up to a radio.
Seriously, man. What are they playing at over there in Eon Studios, man? Get your act together, will you, man?
Studios.
Yeah, right. Second bleeding Henry Cavill is available. All right, just give him the bloody role and stop being a bunch of morons.
If you've watched him in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.,
yeah,
he's so good.
I know.
And
That's
Mission
why he should be
Impossible,
Bond, but they're stupid. Even now, they're stupid.
The man was born to play James Bond.
Anyway, I saw this article and I thought it was funny because that mad animal rights group, PETA, is it PETA or PETA?
Oh
PETA?
God, Peter. Oh
yeah,
God.
right. Well, they've come out with a statement about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh God, here we go.
No. This time they're actually being positive, believe it or not. Yeah. So PETA calls Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 the best animal rights film of the year. They say the film has helped audiences see animals as individuals and suggesting that just because we can experiment on them doesn't mean we should. Now, I do agree we shouldn't be experimenting on animals, but it's still not going to stop you from having a chicken burger.
Doesn't PETA euthanize animals that they release?
Yep. Yep.
Hypocrites.
Keep euthanizing those stray dogs, eh?
But in fairness, it's still not going to stop me from having a cheeseburger or a bit of lamb or a bit of steak.
You go be vegan. You do you. Okay, don't tell me what to eat.
Yeah,
okay, exactly.
And that ends right there. I'm sorry. You think beef burgers are causing global warming. You're a moron if you believe that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I want to eat meat because it keeps me healthy. I mean, I smoke like a dog anyway, but I
smoke like
at least I'm getting the proteins I need as well as the nicotine. Okay, so get in the bin. That's it.
Right. Sorry, I just got distracted because our regular co-host is not going to be around for the next couple of weeks, so he was just sending me a message just to let us know. So yeah, he has 60-70 hour weeks now, which is absolutely
poor guy,
disgraceful in this day and age. You're working 60-70 hours. Nobody should be working 60-70 hours nowadays. But I'm going to keep
Canada
this one
banned slavery.
What?
I thought Canada banned slavery. I thought they were progressive.
Progressively worse.
Exactly.
Backwards. Right, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet because I know there's not many gamers. I know there's not these two lads are not gamers on the panel anyway. So, Grand Theft Auto is reportedly set to be Grand Theft Auto 6, I should say, is reportedly set to be the most expensive game of all time. The game will cost between $1 and $2 billion.
I knew you were going to say at least $1 billion, but $2? Are you out of your mind? What?
That's what I mean, and that's the angle I want to go at it at,
Maybe
right?
it
Even
is.
if you're not a gamer, how the hell are you spending $2 billion, even $1 billion, on a game?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be the most expensive game in history. Like, it'll be the most expensive game of all time. Like, how can they justify it? You know, and to make that money back, I mean, you're going to be charging people over £100 for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're thinking of bringing out a Grand Theft Auto movie franchise to go with the bleeding thing.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that seems a lot of money to be paying.
That's an awful lot. I mean, okay. I mean, does this mean there's going to be a new console coming out around the corner then that is going to
run it,
facilitate this thing, that it's going to run like it's virtually real or something?
Well, it'll be for the next gens that they have out right now. So they'll have it out for the new Xbox and the new PlayStation 5.
So they must be developing it specifically for that, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it's probably going to be... I mean, from what I mean, I've never played it. I played it once years and years ago, probably the original one. But I can imagine it will be hyper realistic. Like, you can go anywhere and absolutely explore infinite places or whatever. But you can do what you want totally. And maybe it'll extend like a whole city or something.
Oh, definitely will. There'll be no doubt about that. But still, man, to spend that money.
Well, they must have
a game.
It is one of the biggest games in the world, isn't it? So I mean, I can imagine it will sell regardless, especially if it's breaking new ground. I imagine they're going to be investing a lot of that money into new technology to make it supremely playable and infinitely whatever explorable. Lots of I don't know. I mean, it's got to be special for that kind of money to be spent. They got to be breaking some kind of technological barrier in order to make this thing spectacular. I guess I'm just pulling.
No. From that's why I
mean,
I need to have an opinion on it from a financial side of it. It is a bit weird, man. I mean, I do like the franchise myself. I prefer the older games, though. I have to admit, yourself.
But I couldn't stand.
You got to put money in to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe they expect to make twice that. I don't know.
Wow.
To speculate to accumulate.
Yeah.
Anyway, this will be brief as well, because I don't know if any of you guys were fans of this franchise back in the day. I remember it being awful. But apparently it's getting a reboot because, Hollywood has run out of ideas. And Robert Rodriguez says his Spy Kids reboot starring Zachary Levi, is it Levi or Levy? And Gina Rodriguez will likely release in late 2023. So Spy Kids had originally Antonio Banderas in the movie franchise, and him and his missus were a spy, and then the kids, a bit like The Incredibles sort of thing, but this was awful. The CGI was off because CGI was awful at the time. But this was an awful franchise to begin with. So why in the hell is Robert Rodriguez, who I consider a decent director, bringing this crap back onto the screens again in late 2023? What's the point? It was
obviously to put messaging in it. and kids. What else would they be doing it for?
Yeah.
Of course they will.
For money. There we go.
No, they don't do anything for money anymore. It's all about
it's because KK got her claws into him. The Eye of Sauron.
It will just be used solely for that purpose. It'll probably be trans kids or something in it or something.
And they'll go around spying on their parents to make sure they get their pronouns
right.
I don't know, man. There's no need for it. There's no need for this movie. Absolutely ridiculous bleeding thing. But there is a video that I put in the chat that I'm going to play at the end of a nice little old lady, which is which has gathered a bit of
I love
following
her.
on Twitter. Yeah, I will put it up because I want to end with that because I think that'll be a nice little ending to this show. She so
reminds
lovely.
me so much of my grandmother.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you'll watch, apart from the neighborhood watch things, my grandmother would never, she would nosy cow. But my grandmother would, it just in her sort of attitude and her sort of very dry humor and matter of factness. She just you'll see it and you'll go, okay.
No, but she is. She's lovely. At first, when I watched the start of it, I thought she was being racist. But it turns out it was because it was a young lad in a fancy car, and it's brilliant. But it is. She's so sweet. She is the typical grandma. Even Lawrence Fox, who put the original video up, he says he missed his mother.
Yeah.
She's like everybody. I'll have to play
yeah.
it for you. It's really sweet. But we're gonna end on a happy note, and then we're gonna do our suggestions or whatever we want to. Because as you know, myself, Lee, PD, we watch other stuff, and we might have some recommendations. For you. So we'll finish with this last topic, give you your recommendations, and then we will leave.
Oh, sorry. On the subject of Lawrence Fox, I just want to say congratulations to Andrew Bridgen for joining the Reclaim Party. There we go.
I don't follow politics, and so
I know.
We like to keep politics out. But I'll let you away with that one. I'll let you away with that one.
Which one was he? Was he the?
They won over the comments about the vaccines, but that's about it.
Oh yeah.
You know the one. Yeah.
What's my favorite meat since I'm a foodie?
That's the one.
Oh, that's a tough one because I do like a bit of steak, but I also like a bit of lamb, and I love a bit of pork. I'll eat
lamb.
I'll eat anything that's put in front of me. What that's legal to eat, basically.
I've got a ribeye steak in my fridge. I'm going to be eating that tomorrow.
Yes.
Stir fry tomorrow for me.
Yes, cooked in butter. No better way. Ooh, yum. Anyway, we're gonna end with this because and on a happy note. Well, we will be giving recommendations. That'll be happy as well. But I wanted to end on this article because obviously, as you know, I'm a Super Mario fan. So the Super Mario Brothers movie has become one of the top 5 highest grossing animated movies of all time, and it still continues, by the way, the surge in the box office. And apparently next month it's going to be coming out on digital, so it'll be available on streaming platforms, and it'll be watched absolutely over and over, and then it gets released on Blu-ray and DVD. But this has been one of the success stories of 2023. Remember, this was the movie that a lot of the critics out there slated because they criticized it for fan service, because fan service and making stuff for fans is a dirty word in Hollywood and to the critics nowadays. But when you actually do and you give the audience exactly what they want, well, then you make over $1 billion.
Exactly.
Right? Simple as that. And by the way, I made this point earlier on today. That movie, though, didn't make $1 billion just because of fans, though. Right? That movie brought in new fans as well. Okay? And there's going to be a lot of Mario fans created because of this movie franchise. And you know what? For me personally, I'm absolutely delighted. I do have a soft spot for the Bob Hoskins movie, but it's an absolute travesty. I wanted a live action Mario movie, but this is what they wanted to do with it. And I think maybe in hindsight, it was the best decision. Maybe a live action version of Super Mario is a lot harder to do than it would be for Sonic the Hedgehog. But we got a Super Mario movie. It's been absolutely successful. And, roll on a sequel is what I say. I'm delighted. But Lee, go ahead.
Hollywood, how are you spending those ESG points?
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Anyway.
Do points mean pounds or just a privilege?
Points.
But I mean, again, lads, it just goes to show you when the will is there, though, lads. It just goes to show you when the will is there, and you create something like this, just like Maverick, just like Sonic the Hedgehog, You know, I'll throw in
Agree.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, even though some people have some criticisms with that movie, but still, to me, it's a good movie. I still like Afterlife. But if you give fans what they want, people will watch, and you know, it does create new fans, and this is what we're seeing now. And I'm just so delighted for this brand. I really am. I'm delighted. I love Super Mario. You know that. I even to this day, I still play the original games. I'm addicted to those games. I'm addicted to that franchise. I just loved it. I watched the cartoon. Listen, man. This for me. I loved when Sonic the Hedgehog was a success, but this for me, this is the icing on the cake for me in 2023. Have to be honest. Now, hopefully, it's going to be Doctor Who as well, but we'll see. But yeah, man, I'm really, really delighted. As you can hear, I can't stop talking about it, but I'm going to stop now because we're going to do our recommendations unless the lads have anything to add about the success of this movie. Well, actually, I will ask you. There's lessons to be learned here. So, what would you say to the Hollywood crowd out there that are not have refused, and the critics that have refused to listen to fans? What would your message be to those people right now?
Pull your finger out. It's quite clear, really. I mean, play woke games, win woke prizes. You know, all the tropes. Quite honestly, unless we just really don't know what's going on behind the scenes with all this. But ultimately, you know, the audience is telling you, stop trying to tell them what they should like and give them something that they actually want to pay for. It's not difficult. It really isn't. I don't understand this elitist attitude of going, you know, we're not debasing ourselves for the audience. They will lap up what we give them because we know best. It's this awful elitist mentality, which is just going to sink you into the ground. Yeah. If not now, if not tomorrow, then soon. And we're here for that because, you know, sometimes you have to destroy something in order to rebuild, and Hollywood is destroying itself. They think that they're destroying our culture to rebuild it in their image,
killing themselves.
But they're really just, you know, I just don't think it's working out the way that they think it will. No. I hope.
Yeah. Well, we have been saying get woke, go broke, and it just appears to be also the other way around in the case. Give us something we want, and we'll lap it up.
This is racing on to a decade of this nonsense now, and you know they still haven't learned. I mean, Hollywood is slower than the bloody Russian army in World War I to mobilize.
Yeah,
it's insane. I just don't get
it. They have to tick their ESG checklist before they mobilize, mate. So,
well, what's more important, your ESG checklist or making billions of dollars? I mean,
exactly. So you can
maybe
get away
they're
from
making billions of dollars by these shadowy billionaires. I don't know. I really don't. But I hope it's worth it because you're losing your audience. You can get the billions, but just giving them stuff that
and their
they
minds.
Enjoy. Yeah, I mean, you're just driving away your audience. I mean, eventually you're just going to be making films for yourselves in the boardroom. That's it. And your woke elite friends who just like go, oh, marvelous, darling, marvelous, like all 10 of them huddled together, smoking cigars and dressed like they're in the Hunger Games or something.
Yes, that's them. Yeah. I just wonder what happens when Klaus Schwab does finally pop his clogs. I'm just wondering.
Oh well, I'm sure
it's going to be World War III, isn't it?
I'm sure his spawn have been groomed into the
It's going to be a massive fight in Davos.
Into the checkered floored brigade. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've actually gotten through all the topics tonight. So well done to the lads as well for giving their opinions. And thanks to everybody in the chat that also gave their opinion as well. We really do appreciate you guys interacting with us. But we're going to go on to personal recommendations. So whether it's TV, movie, or whatever the lads have been, whatever they've been watching this week. And I'm going to start off real quickly because I've just got one show to recommend this week. And that's that show that I keep banging on about, which is From. Season 2 has officially started. I'm actually enjoying it, I have to say. I just hope they don't screw it up because it is, as I said, the people behind Lost are on it. So that is in the back of my head. But so far, I've enjoyed it.
And I love the theme tune.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
so good. I like that.
So I would recommend from. So that's my recommendations. Short and sweet. That's the new thing that I have watched. And I did watch The Pope's Exorcist as well, which is a movie, and I really enjoyed that with Russell Crowe. Even though there was some of the, there was some of the cliches in there. It was a pretty good movie, and Russell Crowe is actually very good, and I like Russell Crowe as an actor anyway. So it was nice to see him do something different. But that's me. That's my recommendations for this week. So from and the Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe, and it's a Sony movie as well. So I think Sony is starting to slowly but surely up its game.
Yeah.
And let's hope it continues. But Lee, what are your recommendations for this week, pal?
I've got 3. First one is Barry. We're on season 4, the final season of Barry. If you haven't watched it, I urge you to watch it. If you like Better Call Saul, or any black comedies, or violent stuff with comedy, watch Barry. You'll love it. Season 4 is very different from the last, especially the first 2 seasons. The third one was a bit. Wasn't the best, but it was still good. But the season 4 is just taking complete. It's gone sideways. So it's just really strange, but really, really intriguing. I really want to know how it wraps up. So, fantastic story. A paid assassin wants to change his life and become a normal person, and get a relationship and join an acting class, and then it all goes south, and he just can't change who he is, and he's trying so hard to be the hero in his own story, but ultimately he's defeated by what he's done, and what he continues to do, he just can't help himself. It's fascinating. It's really funny. It's really dark, and it's really action packed, and especially in the first couple of seasons, and it's bonkers. I think you'll just enjoy it. The other one would be Silo on Apple TV. First 2 episodes dropped of that. I was a bit unsure about it, but I've been intrigued by it. Might be a little bit mystery boxy, but it's still really intriguing, and I want to know more. And so check out the trailer for that. I thought it was going to be woke. It hasn't been yet. There were a couple of moments I rolled my eyes, but other than that, it wasn't too jarring. And the third one was a film I watched last night with Jack, actually, which was a werewolf film from 2015 called Howl. Don't know if anyone's seen that. It's a werewolves on a train, basically.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good. It's a British film. It's got a lot of twists and turns. The mood in it, the lighting, the special effects and makeup is really good. The werewolves are weird looking. They've done something quite different with them than you would expect from a werewolf, but it works, and it's really scary. It's genuinely scary. I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this anymore.
Yeah,
because it was really creepy, and oh my goodness, yeah, it's some great scenes. It's not perfect by any means, and it does stretch. I think it's constraints to the max, especially towards the end. You're kind of, because it's daylight at that point, so there's some weird things in there, but I won't go into too much detail. But I mean, it is a very, very successfully put together film, I think, and it deserves to be watched.
Fantastic. PD, what are your recommendations for this week?
I can give you a nice recommendation from Star Trek Picard if you want to listen to the soundtrack for Star Trek Picard. So it's different. You can now listen to it for free on the Lakeshore Records website on YouTube.
Yeah, actually, the music for Picard season 3
It's
is actually quite
amazing.
impressive.
I'm still
Yeah.
listening to it. I bought it a few weeks ago before it got released on the Lakeshore Records YouTube site, but I'm still listening to it. I love it. I'm addicted to that soundtrack. But my recommendation for coming up is June 2. I want to see the second part of June. I love the first part, and I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, I haven't watched the first part yet because I've heard mixed things about it. Some people were absolutely complaining about it, and then there was others that were saying it was actually decent. So I don't know who. Again, I should probably just go in and watch it myself with an open mind and stuff
I'd
like
recommend
that.
it. It's not the David Lynch version, but they take a few bits and pieces from the David Lynch version. But it's not a David Lynch version. It's more in line with the book, and it's very much there's a few extended parts, and it's more cerebral. That's what I liked about it. It's more political, like June should be. It's all about action. Yeah, but that's my recommendation.
Well, there you go. But I did promise that we'd end on the video. So what I'll do is I'll get the lads to do their shout outs first before we end on this sweet little video. Because then we'll go straight into the trailer after it. But I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. I've done 4 streams, and so you can imagine I'm actually getting to the point now where I'm actually starting to crack here. So, yeah, it's been a long day. Started at 10 o'clock today, and I haven't stopped. So, yeah.
Oh, Reedy, what are you doing?
I don't know. Sorry, you're hearing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna rest.
I think I got a loose cable on my headset. That's it. I'll have to tighten it up.
All right. Sorry about that. We'll let you do your channel shout outs first, PD. Go ahead.
Okay, you can find me here on I think Wednesdays now, isn't it?
Mondays and Wednesdays, remember?
Oh, we're still on Mondays. What are we doing Monday?
Yeah, we're doing a different stream
on
Monday. Okay.
Yeah, okay. You can find me here Mondays and Wednesdays on Charlie's channel. You can find me in the chat on Rabbi's channel normally, and every once in a while you can find me on Dan's channel, Facebook. And a big shout out to what was it, Pop Culture Minefield we were with today.
Yeah, found it. Oh yeah, I got invited back on again.
Oh, so. Cool.
Yeah, glutton for punishment.
I'm part of their list now, so apparently if there's a stream and I want to pop on, I can pop on anytime, which is really nice.
Good guys.
Nice.
Yeah, they were lovely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being on that stream. I have to say, didn't have to do too much talking. Yeah, which was great. But it was great listening to the lads and their opinions as well, and I got to meet the rest of the people behind the backstage before we actually come on, which was quite nice as well. So I got to meet everybody.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was really nice. They really welcomed me. So I want to give a big shout out to Pop Culture Minefield. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, they do, cover a range of topics on that, and they have several streams each week. So it's well worth checking out. So I think PD has already put them in the chat. So we'll let Lee now do his shout outs.
Yeah, you can find my YouTube channel with my VFX stuff on there at Audred, Audred. And my Twitter is at The Problem Being. That's it, really.
Fantastic.
But obviously, go and check out Drawing Jack Rabbit as well. And
and Gobby Guy and Daniel's channel, the usual suspects, folks. Dan, Type 40, all of that. But I want to thank you all again, because I'm going to put this video up. We're not going to really say that much because it's such a sweet video. And then we're gonna end it there. So I'll say good night to you now. So thank you all for joining me over the whole day, and if you've popped in on the other channel as well, I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you again on Monday. I think I've earned me rest this weekend, I have to say. Haven't streamed 4 streams in a long time, but I have to be honest, I really did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. So I want to thank everybody that was part of all the streams today. You are all legends in my eyes. So thank you for making it what it is. And I will leave you with this sweet little clip of this sweet old lady. And I don't even care if I get demonetized. I shouldn't,
Oh,
but if I do get demonetized, I don't care because this is worth it. This is everybody's granny. I love it. All right, here we go. The big screen or two. Hold on. I had it ready to go this time, as you can see. So I'm hoping there's no glitches now. So it should pop up on the screen there any second. There we go.
This is great. I
Hopefully
love her.
we'll make it bigger now. And it's 3 minutes long, folks. So listen to this sweet old lady. Just make sure the volume is up. Here we go.
Funny.
I know she is. That's the one thing, though. And then I won't say that, but she does something, and your man says, "I'll go right ahead." And I was like, "He's a legend." I was even like, "He's a legend as well."
I think they'll become best friends eventually.
Yeah, because if someone did that, the reaction he gave, you know that those two are gonna have some fun times, man. Because she's gonna be at him all the time. Anyway,
Totally.
here we go.
You're right there, love.
You can't park here, darling.
What do you mean I can't park here?
Well, you've got no parking permit and you'll get towed away. I'm just trying to...
Okay, but I live here.
If you lived here, you'd have a residence parking permit.
Yeah, but I'm saying I've just moved here.
Really? How can you afford to move? Somebody like you. This is a very nice car.
Someone like you.
You can understand why I was suspicious of you.
Well, why?
Because if you owned this car, you
But I
would
do own
not
this
let
car.
it get filthy like this.
But, yeah, but it's just a dirty car, that's it. Like, it
I
don't
know,
matter.
but the people around here will judge you by a dirty car.
Okay, so you're admitting, yeah, you're judging me because my car is dirty.
Yes.
Okay, but then you said that because I'm a young guy as well.
Yes.
So you're judging me because I'm a young man in a nice car, in a nice area, and because the car's dirty.
Yes.
And you think that's okay?
Yes. Absolutely. And if you don't want to have to explain yourself all the time, one, get yourself a residence parking permit and get your car clean. There are plenty of people around here. If you're earning so much money, then why can't you afford to get one of the local kids to wash this car for you on a regular basis? I can give you some very good
No, but it's because the car is black, yeah, it gets dirty fast.
Now, when did you last wash it?
No, maybe a week ago.
Now, when did you last wash it?
It's
You're
just
busy
your
making
business.
loads of money.
No, it's nothing to do with that, but it's none of your business, though, is it?
Ooh,
Yes, it is actually. 'Cause
Respect
I'm
your
part of the neighbourhood watch, and I look out for things like this.
I love this part. This is my favorite part. No,
What are you
this is my favorite part.
Just having to sit down.
And he
what
left
reason?
it.
Just because I'm old. No,
Yeah, well, can you not? Well, you can sit there if you want. It's fine. You can sit there. You can sit there. How's your day going?
my day's not going terribly well.
Well, why?
What I think I'll do, though, if you're so sure that this is your car,
This is my car. Yeah.
no, but I've got a local kid who comes and washes cars regularly.
You've got a local kid.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I've got a nice young man called Jason who comes around and washes
Little
my
boy
car
Jason,
once a week.
yep.
So can I give your number to Jason and he can, if you just give me a phone number, I'm sure you've got a card.
How old is Jason?
19.
Oh, okay.
He's at university. He's studying sociology.
Okay.
But for just to keep himself going and so he doesn't get to be a drain on his parents, he goes out and washes cars at the weekend. I give him a £5 and he does a really good job of mine.
I'm
Or
okay.
10 quid if he wants to do the inside as well.
I'm okay.
You should really.
No, I'll go
Really
wash
think
it.
about it.
I'll go wash it, yeah, but I'd rather get it washed properly than from little boy
Jason
Jason.
does a terrific job. You should see the
I love
No,
it.
but like little boy Jason, like it just doesn't sound promising, does it?
it's got a racket going on with Jason.
Listen, I'm an old lady. And if you've got so much money that you could afford a car like this, you could afford 10 quid a week to keep it really nice.
I'll see you in a bit, yeah.
Yes. If I see you again with a dirty car, though, I will stop you because I'm a community watch.
Yeah, exactly. Why?
I mean, he handled it. In fairness, he handled it well. But she is just, you can't really give out to an old lady.
No,
like that,
she's
man. She's a legend.
Barking, but like, you know,
I know.
I mean, that eccentricity it
Yeah.
reminds me of my grandma.
I love that.
Definitely old
I love
aristocracy type. Yeah.
And you know what? There's nothing. You know. People will
She's
say when she
harmless.
was
I
offensive
know.
and all of that. But the thing about it is, she was actually. He's a young man, And whether he likes it or not, you got a bit of a life lessons there. People do judge you on appearances, including your car and your health and all that. It does happen in society. So
just that generation,
Yeah, and that's the way they were brought
She's
up.
obviously come up, through the upper middle classes and
Yeah.
to be
She's definitely a
proper
snob. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! I mean,
Yeah.
like she's a neighborhood watch girl, so she's going to be in people thinking that she's super important and holding the community together, and we have standards, and you better cut your lawn and you better be a certain height.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
the type of old lady if anything happened or you'd be devastated.
Yeah.
She's a character, and you
Yeah.
gotta love her for it. I mean, she might have been bloody annoying when she was
Yeah.
young, but she's of the age. You just gotta forgive them, And
I just love the part where she opened the door
Oh,
after
yeah.
he rolled up the window and sits down, and then he goes to her. He goes to her first. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just sitting down. I'm all. Okay, you could do that. It was just like he just gave up.
I
Then
think at that point he fell in love with her. To be honest,
yeah, he did. He did.
better have
Yeah,
done anyway.
he better. Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to go around to her house with tea and cake.
Let's hope. Let's hope they have a good old friendship. Anyway.
I
But
hope
we'll
so.
wrap it up there, folks. Listen again. Thanks for joining us this evening and throughout the day. And I will talk to you again next week. Until then, enjoy our weekend. Stay safe. Look after yourselves and enjoy yourselves as well, because there's a bit of good weather out there. And we will talk to you next week. So if the lads want to say good night.
Night.
No. All right. Night.
Okay. Typical day. Anyway, we will see you, folks. Have a good one. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye, Lord Toth.
Bye, Tim.
You shall be